The White House under attack. A plot uncovered by the FBI. Un donné à ses Ricard, where more than 20 terrorists were preparing to launch a deadly attack against thousands of people, including the all-powerful Donald J. Trump and his family. Drones, snipers, a full assault plan on the White House. Family, your likes, your comments. Let's get started. Good afternoon, family. Welcome to Estrategias Militares. Every day we find out about things that seem like they're straight out of a movie or a movie script. 250 years since the independence of the United States of America. Donald J. Trump talks to Dana White, who is his friend, a wrestling promoter, and tells him that UFC 250 we're going to set up a stage as if this were the Roman Colosseum. We're going to put some guys in there to fight, beat each other up, and we're going to broadcast it to half the world. Well, this is what just happened this weekend. On Saturday. But the action wasn't there. The action wasn't at UFC 250. The action was in a terrorist group of more than 20 terrorists. And now you're going to be amazed. We have photographs, data. That's why we started later. They wanted to cause a real massacre at UFC 250. To launch the attack we've seen in movies. Me, honestly, it's like the title, The White House Under Attack. It's just that I'm remembering 4 movies I've seen with this, and it's exactly the same script. Drones, snipers, assault team. Well, this was absolute madness. I don't understand it. And on top of that, it was discovered by the narrowest of margins. By the narrowest of margins. And now we're going to give you details about this very story. But folks, we are live right now. Your likes and your comments are super important. This is Estrategias Militares. News told in a different way. News that isn't told elsewhere is told here. This channel has been running for almost 3 years now, serving as a news reference in Spanish. Thank you very much for being with us. If you don't know the channel, now is the time to subscribe, to support our content, so that we can keep communicating and telling things as they are happening. Oh my Donald J. Trump, he just can't catch a break. One after another. What was the plan? Well then, exclusive right now here on Estrategias Militares. First suspect of the attack. This so-called saint you're looking at, he is one of the detained suspects. Please, don't laugh. Mr. Clean, from Ohio. Mr. Clean, he designed and prepared a plan through social media and an encrypted communication system to cause the biggest terrorist attack since September 11th. What you're hearing. The White House. Attacking the White House is more than just attacking the United States. It's attacking the entire country and everything the United States stands for. The White House is one of the most visited places throughout the year in the United States of America, and a symbol for both the good and the bad in its history. All the presidents in history have passed through there over the past 250 years, since it was created, since the country became independent, since it was founded. The United States of America. There it is. Last Saturday, a stage was set up in this place, where something was happening, where something was taking place. Nothing less than a historic fight. A sporting event. Well, the Proper and a few others. Now let's read the letter from the FBI. More than 23 people had coordinated in the Signal group, a messaging service used to encrypt communications. Much more secure, it seems to be WhatsApp. They had agreed to prepare a plan of action to carry out a terrorist attack against the White House. Oh. First, I want to say this is informational content based on official sources before any censors get involved. We're going to see it now with the arrest that took place days earlier. After receiving the intelligence report, you'll see its source. We're not here to promote any kind of violence. It's an event that happened. Please don't censor the channel. We're reporting the news responsibly based on real data from the FBI. The story is incredible. So far, 5 of the terrorists who were planning to attack the White House have been arrested. Fix it in threes. We still have quite a large number who haven't been arrested yet. They must have fled. They've probably fled. The rest of the 23, if we've arrested 5, you know how many remain? Out there, wandering the streets of the United States as well. No. This is unbelievable. I'm going to show you declassified documents that we've had access to. We always bring you the freshest stuff here. No headlines. The headline is clear, a terrorist attack. But now let's see what that terrorist attack was like, what details there were, and what's behind all of this. Let's go back to June 10, 2026. That is 3 days earlier at the UFC 250 event. That day, the FBI receives a call about something disturbing. The Proper's family. They call the FBI. There's a phone call. On June 10th at approximately 9:18 in the evening, officers from the Knox County Sheriff's Office and the Danville Police Department were dispatched to an address in Knox County in relation to a disturbance. Pay attention to what comes next. The caller, identified as Proper's mother, was concerned about her son. Identified as... She was concerned about his recent behavior, including the purchase of firearms and communication with certain people online. The agents initiated a preliminary investigation with the local authorities. They arrived at the scene at 9:38 p.m. They spoke with Mr. Proper and his mother, and his father too. Proper is 19 years old. He lives in that residence with his parents. Proper's father stated that Mr. Proper had recently met random people online and that he had been planning reconnaissance of strategic locations in the United States of America with these people. His father said that Mr. Proper had been planning to leave this coming weekend, the weekend of June 13, 2026, to meet with these people online. His father stated that Proper had also recently acquired camping gear, food, ballistic plates, a new shotgun, a rifle, lots of ammunition, extra magazines, and a plate carrier. A 19-year-old young man who lives with his parents, who has no military training, through social media, gets together with a group of more than 20 people to prepare a military assault operation, in this case, a terrorist attack against the White House. What's going on in his head? I don't know. But an operation like this, it's not just clowns involved. There are also masterminds. Be careful, because I have my suspicions. Be careful, because Mr. Clean might surprise us in the next few hours. Mr. Proper might be part of some religious group, well known. I say that because of the way his beard is trimmed. I leave all the doors open. When there is confirmation, we will say so. So, what happened then? When they arrived at Proper, what did he say? Well, family, get ready to be amazed by this. We have images of the weapons, the plan to assault the White House, and the conversations. This is amazing. As soon as the parents say this, the FBI gets fully involved. There's no other option. When it's this type of incident, the FBI has to step in and already has more jurisdiction, meaning it has more power than the rest of the local authorities who were handling the situation at that time. Look here. Thomas? He admitted to planning the attack at UFC Freedom 250. On June 13, 2026, the FBI executed federal search warrants at Thomas's residence, authorized by the Honorable Anna York, United States Magistrate Judge for the Central District of California. I don't know what's going on, but everything comes from California. During that search, agents seized a hunting rifle, an AR-style rifle, extended 30-round magazines for the AR-style rifle, filled with approximately 180 rounds of ammunition, and a handgun. During the execution of the warrants, agents interviewed Thomas. Agents were also able to review screenshots on Michael Allen Thomas's phone that showed photos of sections of Google Maps of the Washington, D.C. area, including the area surrounding the White House. During the interview, Michael Allen Thomas stated that he saw himself as the group's planner and advisor. Although he was not willing to take action himself, he wanted to guide and instruct others on how to carry out attacks. Michael Allen Thomas expressed his frustration because some members of the group seemed uncommitted and used excuses to justify why they couldn't act, particularly with the planned attack at the UFC Freedom 250 event. Michael Alan Thomas said that the goal of this attack and the subsequent attacks was to create enough chaos to provoke the overthrow of the government of the United States of America. Michael Alan Thomas indicated that he believes the United States government is run by an elite group of individuals who sacrifice and consume babies, who were also deeply involved with Jeffrey Epstein and are now protected by President Donald J. Trump. Thomas attributes part of the responsibility for this government corruption to the Jewish people and blames them and Israel for the current war with Iran. I hadn't read the document until now, and I've said I suspected, based on the suspect's appearance, that it might be connected to something. My suspicions keep growing. I insist. My suspicions keep growing right now based on what we're reading. The basis of the attack, the motive for the attack, is believing that the United States of America is run by a group related to Jeffrey Epstein, Israel, and the Jewish people. Welcome to Estrategias Militares. We are live right now. How do you make up fake content, they say? It says here, Gino. Gino says here. Defecti Gino. How do you make up fake content? Look, Gino, so you'll shut your mouth. Or put something in your mouth. You're gonna make up fake content. I'm not gonna say it because your mother is a saint. This is the official FBI document. And of the evidence found in Sprupper's house. All right, Gino, open your mouth. This is incredible. Yo, there's one thing I would do with this. The rifle is not an AR type. In fact, aesthetically, the rifle looks like a rifle used by Israel, which is the Tabor. Or assault rifle. It's very similar. Very, very similar. Of course, they'll claim Israel planned the attack. I expected this. It's not the same. I'm saying it before they come and start telling stories. The rifle we're looking at there with the flag of the United States of America, it's not the Tabor. This is the Tabor. We are looking at the FBI's evidence here. It's a completely different rifle. It's also a rifle that has been modified. It has been customized with the flag of the United States of America. We're seeing it right there. Let's zoom in. We're zooming in. There it is. You can see the flag of the United States of America. What also draws attention is Caco Negro. You can see on the plate carrier a flag of the United States of America, but I wouldn't be able to tell from the image quality if it's blue and white with black. If that's the case, it's the blue light flag, the thin blue line, which represents the security forces. In this case of the United States, it's the flag of the emergency services, the blue light. But it draws attention, doesn't it? I mean, well, if there's an AR-15 rifle, careful, there are two rifles. What is the plate carrier? The plate carrier is the vest where you put the bulletproof plates for now. To shield yourself from direct impact. No, no, this is not an AK. This is an assault rifle system that uses a different type of mechanism than the AR-15. But you can see an AR-15 there. Look at the image. In the lower left part, you can see an AR-15 sticking out there. That is, he is carrying 2 assault rifles. This one in particular had a magnifier, a magnifying scope. Not long range, but medium or short range. And it has a silencer. It has a silencer mounted in what we're seeing right now. I mean, the guy was armed to the teeth. Thank you. He was armed to the teeth. Thank you. It's not, I insist on this, what we're seeing right now. It's crazy. What we're seeing is absolutely crazy. It's a rifle similar to an L85, which is used by the British Army. It's a rifle like the Tavor. The mechanism is called, I think it's push-pull because of its firing system. It doesn't work very well, but the AR-15 does work quite well. Of course, this is lethal. What we're seeing right now is lethal. But be careful because there's more. Be careful because there's more. Well, sorry, I got a little upset because they were saying I was making things up. I'm not making things up. It's been published. The same director of the FBI has published it, that there has been an attempted attack at the White House. All right. More information about this. A lot more information. More details. Michael Alan Thomas was one of the alleged organizers. The photos we're looking at right now are of Mr. Proper, not of Thomas. Remember, there are 5 people in custody, 23 suspects. The mother made the call. What would have happened if the mother hadn't made the call? What would have happened if What would have happened if she hadn't made the call? What did she do? The detainees are Americans, and they don't believe there's a connection. Do they not see a connection with foreign agents? All right? Pay attention to this. Some of the screenshots from the Signal group, where the plan was being prepared to be carried out. The group was called Hunters. Hunters. Let's read what it says here. This is the best action we can see. Your team's position at the purple point, where they're up against snipers and drones. The area, long range, shooting in the red circle with heavy fire. Easy to go to the river. They're going to pick you up here. He says, we're going to drop you off. We're going to leave you in the safe zone. These are all the streets, all the roads. They're going to pick you up here. And now put here, Whiskey 6 California, America, Ulcrom, Mio 1, Fulcrum MO 1667. Viper of the SEGOG and at Prox OAT. Read the mission document and posted briefing. Thank you. The position where the first sniper should be placed. This is tremendous. We are talking about this in a group on a social network in the United States of America. Hold on, I'm getting some breaking news. Okay, let's go with this. The place where it will be placed says, I love the making shooter. One photo. Drone launch zone and point for the sniper's position. Sniper 2 and drone launch. This is incredible. This is incredible. It's the execution of a plan to launch an attack on the White House. I don't know what you all are thinking right now. But what did they want to do? Well, I'm going to tell you. All this information we're giving is public and has been published in the media. Confidential. We're discussing it now, but it's already published and not confidential. This has already been leaked. The idea was this. To place some snipers on some buildings. Near the White House. According to this photo, to launch the drones with explosives, the drones can't get close to the White House perimeter, but they can hit nearby buildings. That would cause a stampede among the thousands of people who were watching the UFC 250. If a stampede breaks out, people start running in all directions. The team of 23 terrorists, armed with assault rifles, both from the air and on the ground, started shooting at everyone. The attack first with a distraction from the drones, followed by an attack with rifles. The world is crazy. But to me, all of this seems too complicated. Some 19-year-olds set up an operation like this. I don't buy it. There's something else going on here. And I'm not one for conspiracies. There's something else going on here. I don't know if you all think the same as I do. Not sure if you agree, but Trump seems to have more lives than a cat. Clearly, Trump has more lives than a cat. But there's an issue here. That's obvious. It's one attack a month. It's one attack a month.
Wanting to blame Israel for all this.
That can already tell us, give us a clue, or show us where this is headed. I would like to reflect on this topic. Right now, the situation is extremely tense at the international level, extremely tense. Right now, at this very moment, while we're talking, terrible things are happening. The agreement with Iran is something horrible. And I stand by that. I'm not going to change my mind. It's something terrible for Israel. It's something terrible for the world. And here, very serious things are happening. The level of security has to be put right now on maximum alert given what's happening. Maximum alert. We didn't know about this until today, 3 days before. What's going to happen now in the World Cup? Is there a group on Signal with 20 guys planning an attack at a World Cup? What about the rest of the members of that group? Where are they? Who are they? How did this slip past US intelligence? Why wasn't there any information before? What is the origin? The background behind all these guys? Is there any movement related to them? Are we facing the first case of a terrorist attack combined with different individuals against Donald J. Trump? I think so. Until now, we had seen individual attacks. A lone wolf enters the White House. Correspondence is dinner. Armed to the teeth, I can believe that. A guy on a farm. In Pennsylvania, he attacks Donald J. Trump. I can believe that. A disturbed person spends 12 hours waiting for Donald Trump to pass by Mar-a-Lago to shoot him while he's playing golf. I can believe that too. But a plot involving 23 people in a group designing a military operation at a high level, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Here on this channel, a few days ago, we did some shows about some guys who come out of the sewers. They've kept coming out. They've kept coming out. We're going to see it. There are more videos. Guys coming out of the sewers. What's going on there? What's happening? People escaping through the sewers, videos of people coming out in the middle of the night. Very strange things here. Very strange things here. And we're at the World Cup. We need to deploy at full strength right now. Security said something came up last minute. Breaking news just came in. Yeah, breaking news, family. Breaking news right now.
The attack doesn't add up to me. To me, that attack doesn't add up to me. Very strange things. Breaking news. Is that Saudi? Or someone from Saudi Arabia? Someone says they've leaked the memorandum with Iran. That document they've signed. I don't even know what's true or what's a lie anymore. Pay attention to what you're about to hear. Also, there's a last-minute incident as well. A Russian frigate has opened fire on a British yacht in the English Channel. Something is going on over there.
Keep this in mind. Immediate and definitive end of the war on all fronts, including in Lebanon. The United States will lift immediately the naval blockade on Iran and will prevent any interference in the matter. The United States will withdraw all its forces from the region within a month. After the agreement is signed, Iran will lift the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz within a month. The United States and its regional partners commit to developing a reconstruction plan for Iran with funding of $300 billion. If the final agreement is implemented, the United States will lift all current sanctions imposed on Iran, including all UN and IAEA resolutions. Iran commits, they commit reconstruction, Iran, nuclear weapons. The issue of enriched uranium will be resolved in the final agreement until such an agreement is reached. The United States agrees to maintain the status quo regarding the Iranian nuclear program. The United States authorizes exports of Iranian crude oil, including banking, insurance, and transportation services. In addition, Washington will release all frozen Iranian funds. If this is true, let's just leave. Let's start looking for a spaceship and go to another planet, if this document or what just leaked is true. It's the greatest surrender in the history of the United States of America. Today, Trump met his Qatari friend who was secretly negotiating with Iran. He says they're going to invest $19 billion or more in the United States. That's how the elites are kept happy. Let's say this clearly. Trump has spoken about Israel. Trump has said very strong things about Israel. Today, I'm saying this very seriously. The tension between Bibi and Trump isn't just growing, it's broken. There's not even any tension left. The former best friends are no longer friends, my friends. I want you to listen to this. Well, I want you to look at this photo. This is a poll in Israel. They say love and hate are only a step apart. In 3 weeks, the support for Donald J. Trump in Israel is Israel Hayom. It's an Israeli newspaper. It says that in 3 weeks has dropped and the negative vote has increased. 61% negative for Donald J. Trump versus 38% positive. 3 weeks ago, it was 58% positive versus 35% negative. This will make him even angrier to our friends in Israel. I'm going to insist on this. I have nothing against Donald Trump. I actually like Donald J. Trump. I like the Republican administration. In fact, I want Marco Rubio to be president someday. I have no problem with the United States. I love the country. I carry it in my heart. But pay attention to what I'm about to say. Donald J. Trump. 4 days, Donald J.
Trump J.
Donald J. Trump.
Donald J. Trump.
We are going to show some images.
The first image that I think we are going to show is a rifle that, according to the authorities, belongs to his son.
Trump. That rifle is customized. It also has on the lower front part, under the barrel, a handguard to give it more stability when shooting. It has a silencer, it has a scope, and the stock is also modified.
The other is a screen grab, several screen grabs showing aerial images and maps of the Washington, D.C. area, and
maps
discussing where snipers possibly would be related to the White House. This is all
related to the White House, where the snipers will be.
Evidence that is posted on an official court docket right now, an official government document. But I will say, 19-year-old Tyson Proper's mother called police after she was concerned about his purchases and communications with people online. It then led them to conversations that he allegedly had with someone named Brian Roa and Michael Thomas in Southern California.
This is unbelievable.
They appeared yesterday before a federal judge.
Well, we'll leave that there. Pay attention to what you're about to say. This will make the people of Israel very angry. Even I, not Israeli, get angry. Look at Donald Trump's words, Iran, Israel. J. Trump says without the US, there would be no Israel.
Without the United States, there would be no Israel.
If the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, Israel wouldn't exist. There's no other president who would be willing to do what I did. No other president would do what I have done.
I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but never.
I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but now
Bibi has to be more responsible with
Bibi has to be more responsible
respect to Lebanon.
in relation to Lebanon.
Lebanon used to be a great country.
Lebanon was a great country.
A country with professors and doctors.
Where you had professors and doctors.
Lawyers. The great intellect was in Lebanon. It's terrible.
Now it's terrible.
Several countries have been treated the worst.
He says the two countries have treated each other very badly.
And they can't defend themselves. And they have Hezbollah, which is a problem for them.
And now they have Hezbollah, which is a problem for them. I think people are forgetting that Lebanon isn't great because Hezbollah is there. But well, it seems that it's also Israel's fault. So no.
I'm not happy with the way, he says. I'm not happy with it.
The way or the manner
has been dealt with.
Israel is handling the situation in Lebanon with Hezbollah.
Should have finished the job quickly.
They should have done or finished the job faster. He says, this is going to last forever. He's telling Israel. That's how I feel about this. Since I'm not paid by any government, I can say whatever comes from my soul. This isn't just from my soul, it's common sense. The President of the United States is telling Israel they should have defeated Hezbollah much faster and long ago. When the president of the United States of America hasn't been able to take down the regime in Iran, even though he has a much larger military force than all of Israel combined. So to me, this isn't something that makes me laugh, because you could laugh if it weren't for the fact that these are people who want a nuclear weapon and to destroy an entire country. So there's nothing funny about it. But knowing the number of soldiers who have died, the difficulties in the environment where they're fighting in southern Lebanon, it seems to me that, first, it's a complete lack of knowledge, both by Donald J. Trump or by the people advising him. I don't even know who it is anymore, whether it's J. Jerry Baines, Whitcomb, or Kushner, or all three. Or it seems to me that this kind of statement is out of place. The Israeli army, and now you'll understand why I say this, has a protocol of action that doesn't allow them to just destroy everything they find in their path. Despite what they say has happened in Gaza, and that it was some kind of meteorite that landed there. It doesn't work like that. And Israel could have ended the Gaza issue in the first week. It could have ended the Gaza issue in days. It could have ended the Lebanon issue in several weeks. But that would have meant Israel had to bypass international law in an armed conflict. But it's the president who's saying it, the one who hasn't been able to finish off Iran, who promised the Iranian people that help was on the way, have died, and others are in prison waiting to be executed. They still have the dust, but it doesn't matter now, since uranium dust is no longer important. Who is the one who doesn't work, who doesn't finish the job? Who is the one who doesn't finish it?
And when that happens, and it hasn't happened, a negative light is cast on the big problem. And that's the problem with Iran.
And this is negatively affecting the Iran deal, negatively. So
when you ask me about Bibi,
he says, so when you ask me about Bibi,
an unbelievable relationship.
it's an unbelievable relationship, but Israel
Would have been blown up a long time ago.
But Israel would have blown up a long time ago. But Israel would have blown up a long time ago. I don't know what's going on here, and it hurts me to see this. You know? It hurts me to see this. Because the future of the United States is tied which is linked to the United States, one way or another. I'd like to note that Ariel Kaniansky, the history expert, could do this better than me. Israel has faced, as he says, even much tougher things. Israel's people were expelled from their land, but they end up coming back. What the people of Israel should fear most is not the Iranians. It's that the man who brought the hostages home and became a hero, who won the hearts of all the Jews, or of almost all of them, now speaks for Israel. That is what can hurt the people of Israel the most. The issue with Iran, we know what's going on. It's no surprise. We know that Iran wants nuclear weapons. They want to wipe out Israel. But when people hear this, when people hear the president, the friend of Israel, the man who moved the embassy to Jerusalem, who recognized that the capital of Israel is Jerusalem, who has stood side by side, who is a friend of Bibi, to speak like this, hurts. And it's normal. It's normal. I don't think I'm betraying. You're mistaken. Betraying is different. I think you're wrong, but everyone makes mistakes. And if you make criticisms the way they should be made, everything is said properly. About uranium.
About uranium. The uranium war. What was going to happen with uranium? What was going to happen with the uranium? What is all this about uranium? Uranium here, uranium there. The uranium issue. We'll take a look at it here in a second. On Estrategias Militares. Just a second. There we go.
So Atomic Energy ends up reporting
The Atomic Organization just reported.
that it was among the most devastating bombings they've witnessed.
This was among the worst bombings they've witnessed. Nuclear power plants had never been targeted before.
The whole mountain collapsed on top of him.
He says the whole mountain collapsed on top of it. He's talking about Fordo. And frankly, to go get a week, he says. And frankly, he says,
Let's go.
let's go get him.
To go get it is a big deal.
Going to get it is a big deal. It's something big. For us to go get the uranium is a big deal. Donald Trump said a week ago that he could go in with a few men and take the uranium. Now, going in there is a big deal because they say only China has this, can even get the whole map. Because they say only China has the equipment to collect it. Because the whole mountain collapsed. We have cameras where it has collapsed.
We have cameras on.
He says,
We have cameras.
You could argue there's no point since it's not really valuable.
You know, it's probably, and if he says it has no value at all, he's saying that the uranium from the 10 nuclear bombs has no value.
It's, it's probably $500,000 worth. Why are you even bothering? Because it's not really valuable.
Why should we worry?
Are you even bothering because it's not really valuable? It's probably worth $500,000.
He says maybe it's worth $500,000.
It's not very valuable, sir.
He says it's not very valuable. Uranium is not very valuable.
But I think psychologically we're one together. He says,
I think we'll handle it psychologically. Without uranium, there's no nuclear bomb. Thank you. Without uranium, there's no nuclear bomb. Excuse me for a second. Something serious is happening. There are events happening that I can't explain to you. And they're serious. What does Donald J. Trump say about the issue of Lebanon? Because, of course, here, well, J.D. Ben is saying that Israel is pushing to blow up the peace agreement. We still haven't seen the document. And Israel officially, essentially, I mean, someone here has said it's someone's strategies. Your only problem is that you're a lover of military power, of superiority, of projecting that military superiority is something good. But that's completely wrong, 180 degrees wrong with Israel. Thank you. Let me be wrong. I'll stick with Israel. The better the devil you know than the Iran you don't. Okay? Israel has officially requested access to the document that will be or has been signed with Iran. The United States has denied it. The United States has formally refused Israel access to the document. The United States entered the war hand in hand with Israel, but it does not have access to how the war ends. The document has to go through Congress. Donald J. Trump says he made a proposal to Bibi, or he comments that he proposed to Bibi that Syria, that Al-Yolani should take care of Lebanon. He thinks Al-Yolani would have done it better. Of course. Donald J. Trump says that Al-Yolani would have done a better job in Lebanon than Israel. This is serious. He has said it. This is no joke. He said that Yolani would do much better in Lebanon. I'm thinking of the Druze who agree with Donald J. Trump when they started to slaughter them all. They likely would have finished sooner. But anyway, Yolani, we already know where she comes from. It's a complicated subject. The topic we're looking at is very complicated. Very complicated. What is being said is serious. Because the time will come when he will be left alone. There he is. Netanyahu and the IDF wanted to launch a much larger ground operation in Gaza, but Trump blocked it. Instead, Israel, according to Channel 13 of Israel, is expanding little by little, just a bit more discreetly. All right. Let's see what happens with Gaza. They were supposed to disarm, but no one has. No one has disarmed there. No. So far, no one in Hamas has put down a weapon. It said that al-Yolani could solve the Lebanon issue. We can't tell if he would do it. Sticks, stones, axes, blowguns. Look, here's the document. I'm not lying. This is Donald J. Trump. Let Syria.
Israel to let Syria take care of itself. And I suggested to Israel that they let Syria take care of it.
I suggested to Israel that Syria take care of Lebanon. I think they do a better job of doing it.
He says that if he were in their place, they would probably do a better job than what's being done now.
And if I'm honest with you, I think they would have done a better job than what Israel is doing. You are comparing the IDF with a group of jihadists who used to be Al-Qaeda, who now go by another name, and next week will be called something else to go there to the minorities in Lebanon, to the Russians, to the Christians, to the Shiites, to the Sunnis, who are not like them. I mean, to me, this seems way out there. It's completely off the rails. Has something happened to him? Has something happened to Donaldo? I don't know what it is. I have no idea. But look at what it says here.
They don't like. And I'll tell you what, Israel has been fighting against Israel for too long.
And if I tell you something, Israel has been fighting Hezbollah for a long time.
And too many people are being killed.
And a lot of people are dying. You don't have to knock. And you don't have to bring down a building every time you're looking for someone. Because there are a lot of people in that apartment. And not all of them are Hezbollah, that I can tell you. Not all of them are from. I still, and I say this very seriously, I still haven't seen it. Images of the buildings that have been destroyed in Dajia. The majority, 90%, were warned 45 minutes, even an hour and a half in advance. Israel's emergency services were called by phone to talk to the Lebanese and ask if there was anyone left in the building. But also, when they took out Nasrallah, when they took out all the others they've taken out, interestingly, there were no civilians in the building. For some reason, the civilians had already left. The one from Qatar is next to it. The one from Qatar is right next to it. Anyway, I think tonight we're going to do a special show about this. I think tonight we're going to dedicate much more time to it. I think the situation right now is not good on any of the fronts. And guys, I have to leave because I have an emergency. I can't talk about it for security reasons. I have an emergency and I have to leave right now, immediately. Well, guys, thank you so much for being live with us. We'll see you in the next show here on Military Strategies.